I saw what happened in 2007. Niliona damu iliyomwagwa katika Rift Valley. We do not want to go back there.
This government's action, from the wanton brutality against peaceful citizens to its brazen attempts at misinformation and the protection of those who incite violence and commit crimes, demonstrates a profound and irredeemable loss of public trust.
Lakini ile iliniuma sana jana kwa sababu I saw what happened in 2007. Niliona damu iliyomwagwa katika Rift Valley. We do not want to go back there. Na Mheshimiwa Kipchumba Murkomen, wewe uko hapa kwa ground na unasikia ground. Leo katika Nandi tumekuambia hatutaki fujo katika taifa hii. Nandi inasema tunataka amani. Na la pili, Mheshimiwa Kipchumba Murkomen, in 2027, kura ya 2027 will be purely on the basis of merit, kama umedeliver manifesto yako na ile kazi umefanyia wa Kenya, sio kutumia tribal lenses kuchagua viongozi. Na yule mwenye amesema kwamba damu itamwakika kama hata win, Mheshimiwa Kipchumba Murkomen, we will not forgive you because we will not agree our country to go that direction any more time. We will not accept. Na Mheshimiwa Kipchumba Murkomen, unasikianga watu wanafanyanga hivi, tunasikia ground. Sasa wao wako kule juu, wewe umekuja kwa ground. Sasa sikiza ground. This is what ground inasema. Ama namna gani? Si tunataka amani? Si tunataka mwenye anaomba kura, omba kura on the basis of work. Sio katika mambo ya ukabila, ama mambo ya fitisho, ama mambo ya sera zako ndio itakuuza hapo mbele. Na kila sisi viongozi wote, the way the country is going, the future will be, you are given a chance. If you don't deliver, you are kicked to go home.
We are awakened today to the tragic and infuriating aftermath of the June 25th, 2025 peaceful demonstration organized to commemorate the lives lost during the 2024 anti-finance bill protest. We should have been, we believe as DCP, that this protest should have been a solemn and constitutional exercise in democratic expression, was instead met with unconscionable brutality by the very forces sworn to protect us. We unequivocally condemn the excessive and lethal forces deployed by the police, which has resulted in a devastating toll. 14 confirmed death and over 400 injured, and an unknown number of citizens whose whereabouts remain terrifyingly unaccounted for. This horrific outcome stands in direct and contemptuous defiance of the Cabinet Secretary for Interior's personal assurance of zero brutalization of peaceful protesters. Such a blatant betrayal of public trust is an unforgivable act. It is with utter contempt that we observe the Cabinet Secretary for Interior now making hypocritical rounds within the business community, ostensibly seeking sympathy. There can be no sympathy for a government that presides over the slaughter and maiming of its own citizens. We demand the immediate and transparent answers to the following critical questions. 1. Why have the following individuals not been arrested for publicly and privately inciting violence and threatening to deploy goons to counter peaceful demonstrations? Their statements constitute of a clear and present danger to public order and democratic rights. Yet they remain free to propagate their divisive agenda. We want to know why the following individuals have not been arrested up to now. 1. Nairobi Governor, Honorable Johnson Sakaja. 2. Honorable William Kamket, Member of National Assembly of Tiati. 3. Mr. Farouk Kibet, personal aide to President William Ruto. 4. members of the UDA Secretariat who were part of this saga. 2, why did the government deliberately switch off live media coverage of the peaceful demonstrations? We strongly assert that these calculated coverage blackouts provided the cover for government-hired goons to loot businesses, an act cynically designed to then be falsely attributed to the peaceful demonstrators in a vile attempt to delegitimize their genuine grievances. This is a transparent and despicable tactic of deception. DCP calls, or rather DCP demands, that the government has a constitutional duty to protect lives and property. It cannot be selective in whom it arrests or investigates. We cannot have a country where peaceful protesters are met with live bullets and mass arrests, while powerful individuals suspected of funding and orchestrating violence walk freely under government protection. DCP calls on the relevant agencies, 1, to immediately arrest Honorable Sakaja, Governor of Nairobi, Mr. Farouk Kibet, Mr. Kamket, and the UDA mafias. They should be arrested and record statements on their alleged involvement. 2, government should also using state power to silence the press. 3, stop the double standard in enforcement of the law. No Kenyan is above the law. We also call upon the international community, human rights organizations, and the media to remain vigilant and speak out against the creeping tyranny and the blatant abuse of power being exhibited by those entrusted with our national security. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask again, why is the government actively attempting to divert the attention of Kenyans from the deeply disturbing death in police custody of Mr. Albert Ojwang? More critically, why is the perpetrator, the Deputy Inspector General, Mr. Eliud Lagat, still walking free? This aggregation's failure to administer justice is damning indication of the government's commitment to accountability and the rule of law. This government's action, from the wanton brutality against peaceful citizens to its brazen attempts at misinformation and the protection of those who incite violence and commit crimes, demonstrates a profound and irredeemable loss of public trust. This government has lost all legitimacy to the people and as such has no mandate to govern. We stand with the victims and their families and will continue to demand justice, accountability, and a government that truly serves its people, not brutalize them. Thank you.
Naambia Murkomen mwenye anaendelea kupongeza polisi wauaji that a day will come when hata yeye he will be held to account for his time in office. Tafadhali serikali, hii risasi yenye sasa inalenga vijana imekuwa too much. Mzee kama huyu amelea mtoto, amefika miaka 23. Now he is supposed to be enjoying ile jasho ya kulea mtoto. Alafu saa hiyo ndio mtoto anauawa namna hii. So we are telling the government enough is enough. Let's make sure we get justice kwa hawa vijana wenye wanauliwa na wale maafisa wa polisi wauaji. tunataka washikwe haraka iwezekanavyo. So we demand justice for Regan Omondi and all the others who have been killed. Regan sasa tumeconfirm ndio atakuwa wa sita, the sixth victim of this week's protests. All the bodies are at City Mortuary. We've already communicated to the pathologists. All the autopsies of the 6 bodies will be undertaken on Monday. A team of doctors has already been contacted.
Yes, there has been an allegation that I funded demonstrators in Makueni and also from Makueni to Nairobi. I want to tell Junet Mohammed, first and foremost, he cannot mention my name on the floor of the House without a substantive motion. And if he has one and he has the evidence, let him do a substantive motion, and I will come to Parliament and respond. I also want to say that if his information is as defective as I heard, and if he was all the allegations against me, which I know and the people of Makueni know, that I don't pay goons to do anything or I don't pay people to go to Mandamano. Mandamano is a voluntary thing. And I believe all the Mandamano, which was in 27 counties and more, if they were funded, then it would be billions of shillings. And I doubt whether anybody in opposition is likely to use that strategy. People went to demonstrate on their own, peaceful demonstrations, and the police disrupted them. In the counties where the police did not disrupt, like Meru or Kitui, and worked with the people, there were no damages. Damages come when police, instead of following the law, first do a proclamation. If the peaceful demonstrations turn chaotic, the law requires that you stop the meeting, announce it loud and clear, and give people enough time to clear. And therefore, if the only way to deal with Mandamano is to begin with, tear gas or gunshots, then the police is really has misled itself, and they're the ones who have caused all the destruction we have seen. I had information from Matu that Kenyans just bypassed the police station, and an unprovoked officer decided to shoot, and that's when hell broke loose. In a Mali, where 3 people were killed, some officers who were in plain clothes, suspected to be of DCI and were with a Subaru, are the one who came out of the Subaru and fired, carelessly, and killed young people even who were not in the demonstration. And that's when trouble began. And therefore, we can blame the destruction into the mismanagement and personal decisions by individual police officers. And probably, if Kenyans are allowed to demonstrate peacefully, I am very sure there will be no destruction of any magnitude. So this blame game of blaming so and so is so misplaced. If it is to go by my case, I did not spend a single coin on any demonstrations, whether in Nairobi or in Makueni, and I do not influence people, by money to do things. People do things because they believe in a cause and they believe in something. So if the information is as defective as the information about myself, then the government has totally misled Junet Mohammed. The government has, the intelligence and where they get information has totally misled William Ruto and his government. And therefore, that misinformation is a clear indication that they are not in touch with the ground. They have completely isolated themselves from the people. They need to go back to the people and hear why people are complaining. People are very annoyed with the 60 deaths, of which the only inquest we have of Rex Masai is an effort to cover up, the killer of Rex Masai, who is known very well by Kenyans. And therefore, we are also aware in that Rex Masai case, witnesses have been frustrated. And it is the only case going on. What about the other 60 or so? What about the disappearances? In Makueni, we have 2 people who have disappeared, and we have 2 deaths from the Mlolongo 4 who were found, brutally murdered, and the registration at the city mortuary had been concealed for 30 good days. Till we went to court, and their bodies were found. So those parents have not gotten any reparation so far. There is no plan or strategy of compensating those who have been hurt or even dealing with them in one way or another by the government, meaning that the government clearly instructed their abduction and clearly instructed their killing, and that's why they do not want to compensate at all. No one wants to bring any coup into this Kenya. There is no one with that capacity. There is no one with that authority. The Constitution of Kenya cannot be suspended. The Constitution of Kenya talks about removal of a president after 5 years through an election. The only other removal available is by resignation or impeachment by the House. The moment that is not applicable, what Kenyans can do, and that's what they are doing, is to prepare. Let the young people register as Kenyans. Let them have an ID. Let them also register as voters when it comes. Let them vote in 2027, and at the same time protect the vote so that it cannot be stolen. It is the only hope President Ruto and his people have to come back to power. We have heard Ruto himself say he will not hand over power to the opposition. We have heard the bravado and the hard talk from the leaders of majority of the two houses, from the interior CS Murkomen, giving an order of shoot to kill. People go to police station to seek protection. When you say now people don't go to police station, anybody going there should be shot dead, then I think that is very misled, and this is why Kenyans have a problem, and that's why Kenyans told Murkomen on his face they are one term. And the Kenyans must really organize themselves this time. Last time, 8 million Kenyans did not vote. We want all registered Kenyans to come out in large numbers and vote this government out.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DAB Radio ndio mpango mzima.